What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the best show on the internet. That's right. You're watching Two and a Half Men on your Netflix account.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Trash Talk
Two and a
Podcast.
Half Men.
It's actually, oh, sorry, Two and a Half Men. That name's actually pretty appropriate because I make up the two men part of it, and Emilio makes up the half because of his height and everything. We don't really get into it here on the show too much, but he definitely makes up the half part of the show. We'll say that.
He's projecting. Oh, sorry. I am taller. I just want to set the record. Also,
Yes,
I edit the
Mr.
show, so maybe your joke made it in, maybe not.
Oh, maybe you did. And for those of you who didn't see it, I am so sorry.
Anyways, guys, so we're gonna briefly talk about Space Jam.
Oh yes, this was my idea, by the
Because
way.
Ryan had the idea, so last night I watched both movies. I don't get the hype.
Yeah, as we'll get into, full transparency at the time that we're recording this episode, I have watched the first Space Jam movie a number of times, and I have my own thoughts and opinions on it. Because of that movie, because of how iconic it is, it was made sense that this new one, A New Legacy, Space Jam 2, that this one would be completely hyped this year. I have not seen this movie yet, but I can tell you from what I've seen online from many people talking about it, there's definitely a consensus on the quality of this film, but we'll get into it here.
Yeah. We're gonna just brief overview. I'm not gonna give any spoilers if no one's no one's seen it. We just want to talk about it because the NBA Finals is this week, and the Milwaukee Bucks are gonna win it. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you know what? What a more appropriate time to celebrate the NBA Finals than talk about how terrible Space Jam 2 is. It makes perfect sense.
I don't think they're terrible movies, both of them. Like, they have, like, their charm. Like, I get the appeal from millennials to it, that they enjoy the original Space Jam.
Millennials.
Yeah, I mean, it's a movie that came out when millennials were kids, so obviously they're gonna...
I mean, I guess here and there. I mean, I could definitely, to be honest, from what I've seen from both Space Jam 1, I watched many times. That movie was definitely a product of its time when it released, I believe, in the 90s. I believe that was
1996. Yeah.
96, yeah. Late 90s, you can definitely tell there's a bunch of trends there. Michael Jordan, the animation style of the Looney Tunes, the humor and whatnot they use from that era, like pre-2000. Yeah. This movie is definitely aged in a lot of ways. I will say this, the first Space Jam... Is Michael Jordan a good actor? No.
Is Michael B. Jordan a good actor? Yes.
Yes. Black Panther. For those of you who didn't know, he played Eric Killmonger in Black Panther. Did a fantastic job.
He's Creed on Creed.
I wish I would have watched that show. I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
It's a movie series, dude. It's a sequel to the Rocky movies.
I wish I would have seen the Rocky movies. I've never seen any of those. But the original Space Jam, though, the acting in that movie wasn't fantastic. I will say this, the animation for coming out in 96, I will admit, is definitely Looney Tunes-esque, and I was impressed with it. I still think it holds up. Some of the CGI scenes don't. You can plainly tell, like one scene.
There's a scene where they turn Michael Jordan into a basketball, right?
Yeah. There's another character. One of the actors who was on Seinfeld in the film as well. Yeah, he gets flattened out at one point in the basketball game. He looks awful in that scene. Some of the animation has not aged well at all. But I am impressed with the animation of the Looney Tunes and whatnot, because I think it still holds up in a lot of ways. But the storytelling and whatnot, it's so stupid. The Looney Tunes and Michael Jordan fight against the Monstars, a group of aliens from Moron Mountain, I think the name of the planet is.
Like that,
and they fight them in a basketball match, because if they lose, the Looney Tunes and Jordan will be slaves as entertainment on their planet. And if they win, they go free, the morons leave, and basketball players get their talents back that are stolen. It's so stupid. It's something that you might see in an episode of Looney Tunes, but I think that's the point.
What I learned actually is that it's inspired on the Air Jordans commercial. There's an Air Jordans commercial with the Looney Tunes, and someone said,
"Yeah, that was the original commercial.
Let's turn it into a movie." There's a lot of this movie that definitely didn't age well.
No. Michael Jordan playing golf, for one, he is absolutely terrible. He'd stick to basketball, Mr. Jordan, please.
No, it's like I don't mean that. Like obviously some other stuff like Lola Bunny, like you know, in the new movie she's redesigned.
Yeah, that's a big thing people were like thirsting over, so to speak, which myself included. I have a full-length poster behind me you guys can't see.
Yeah, who
Since
doesn't?
Emilio kindly returned my stuff.
Yeah.
He didn't return that. You didn't return that Little Bunny poster, did you?
No, I'm sorry. Can we
Dude,
not? Can
well,
we not? Can we not get into this right now? It's kind of
all right, fine.
like oh, just
Sorry,
okay,
sorry.
okay,
I'm just
okay. Just
look. I'm
the movie,
salty over.
okay?
Okay, fine, fine. We'll talk about it later. Fine, fine.
No, but what I was trying to say is that there's so it's very well known that Michael Jordan had like a huge gambling issue. And a huge part of the movie is that he gambles the talent of the other basketball players.
He gambles the talent of the other players, then he gambles his freedom like halfway through the match when the Looney Tunes are losing so badly. He's like, tell you what, guys, let's up the stakes here. If we win, you guys still leave, you return the talents of the players. But if we lose, you get me. And I'm thinking these stakes are higher for them than you guys. And you let Michael Jordan on your plane.
Yeah. At that point, Michael Jordan was playing baseball.
Basically, it's like, well, do we want a star baseball player? Like, no, we want the Looney Tunes. Who would want Michael Jordan in that case? We want to take the Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
I mean, geez Louise.
I feel like if I would have watched it when it came out as a kid, I would have been like, "Yo, this thing's awesome."
But then your first time seeing it, though, right?
Yeah, this was my first time seeing it. Also, I didn't grow up with the Looney Tunes, so to me, it was like, "Oh, it's." Yeah, I recognize these characters, but they don't mean much to me. Like,
I mean, which is fair.
Also, I mean, I like basketball. I got into it this year because I started following the Milwaukee Bucks. That's why I mentioned them because for those of you
nerd,
what's nerdy about liking sports? Anyways,
because it's like you and sports do not match. I mean, just look at him. Does he look like a star athlete? I can see him being like that one kid.
Do you look like a star athlete?
I'll have you know, I was in track and field, so yes, I am indeed an athlete.
I didn't. I was in the volleyball team and the
cool. I almost
team.
got hit by a metal ball and killed during one of my meets. So it was by one of my friends who threw as a joke.
Okay. Anyways, so I'm just understanding the rules of basketball. So when I saw the Monstars, I was like, wow, basketball is way more exciting than I thought.
I was gonna say, did you really think that a Looney Tunes movie would follow the rules of basketball exactly?
Dude, at the end they had Newman and what's the guy from the Ghostbusters?
Crap. Bill Murray.
Bill Murray to the team because they need 5 players, otherwise they have to forfeit. There's like a hint of the rules.
Oh anyways. My god, yeah, that's right.
So, anyway, no, I'm kidding. But it was kind of interesting watching it. The NBA is at a whole other level than the league we have here in Mexico, which is very bad.
I believe that very much.
Yeah, I was like, wow, these guys are amazing. The guys that play basketball here look like the guys from the park. Holy crap, compared to these guys. Anyways.
I have a feeling they look like the Looney Tunes from the second Space Jam, not the first one, but the second Space Jam.
Okay, so I guess I can get into the second Space Jam because I have watched it. So
to conclude, like my thoughts on it too, because Emilio, like I understand from his perspective, I grew up with the Looney Tunes here and there, but I'm not like a huge fan. I mean, I like them, but not that much. The first movie has aged in a lot of areas. It's an average movie, we'll say that, but it does have a lot of charm for people who did grow up with it. So watch it if you're interested. But second Space Jam, Emilio, take it away because you've actually seen it.
Yeah, so the Space Jam, the new movie has, instead of Michael Jordan, it has LeBron James. Who,
yes.
In my opinion, is a better actor and a more likable figure than Michael Jordan. He's obviously not as good as a player because Michael Jordan achieved so much as a player.
I don't know, man. I mean, have you seen Michael Jordan's like act from the first movie? That's really hard to beat. He was like a top 5 like tier actor there. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good point. What if they what they could do now is that with all the technology, they could just get like a real actor and just CGI'd LeBron James' body onto them.
My gosh. I can only imagine like if they refuse to play in the movie, they just like de-age Michael B. Jordan and make him the new Michael Jordan if they couldn't actually get Michael Jordan in the movie. Like, hey, let's bring him back. Like, nah, let's just
Michael
digitize
B.
Michael B.
Jordan.
Jordan.
I would prefer watching Michael B. Jordan anyway.
Honestly, yeah.
Amazing actor. Probably top 10 favorite actors. Anyways, um, this movie is like it's a lot better in the way it treats the main protagonist because it kind of gives a goal, like an objective to LeBron
Hmm.
James. Because well, it gives him stakes, which in the original movie Michael Jordan doesn't really have stakes. He just gets sucked in with the Looney Tunes, and he's like, "Well, I guess I gotta help them." And
See, I think that's one of the key differences I noticed too. The original Space Jam, the Looney Tunes kidnap Michael Jordan on a golf course and they force him
yeah,
like, "Hey, listen, we need your help." And this one, he goes to them. They have no reason to want LeBron at all,
yeah,
but they're like, "Well, you know what? We'll help you. Like, rescue your kid." Like, why
yeah.
not?
So the plot is that LeBron James and his son they have like issues. LeBron wants his son to play basketball, but he's more into like developing video games. He's
Yeah,
a nerd.
E3, which is such a stupid name.
So he takes him to Warner Brothers studio where they present this new AI that can design movies and can put LeBron James in a variety of different Warner Brothers properties.
Uh,
Um, which I was surprised is like, oh, I didn't know Warner Brothers owned this and that. Wow.
I didn't
Anyways,
know Warner Brothers had a good company after the original Suicide Squad. Wow.
I didn't know they still had it
Can't
in
believe
them.
they're still around.
Anyway, so the AI sucks LeBron James and his son after LeBron James says that the AI is the most ridiculous and stupid thing ever. And he forces LeBron into a basketball game
Oh my gosh.
and he gives him 24 hours to assemble a team and he only finds the Looney Tunes.
Emilio's landlord, everybody, basically telling him he's evicted because he keeps lying about his height. Apparently, his landlord doesn't like that. So, Emilio, you're gonna have to book it after this episode. I'm sorry.
No, it was actually my producer. It turns out we have a requirement that you have to be 6 feet tall. So I guess you're cut from the show. Ah,
I'm six
sorry.
foot two, though, man. I mean, come
Six
on, I
foot
fit the
two? Like
requirement.
what?
Yeah,
Were you
sure.
just counting inches? No, dude, metric
Centimeters
system.
count too.
Anyways, so they use the Looney Tunes for some reason. It's like you could
Yeah, I
have
was like,
gone
yeah, more
Superman.
capable Looney Tunes.
Um, it's whatever. Like obviously the animation is a lot better. I'm guessing LeBron James didn't have as much time as Jordan to make the movie because most of the movie is animated. Like LeBron James' character is animated, not like in the original Space Jam where they green
Yeah, but
screen
they didn't.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, they didn't animate Jordan at all.
Well, they did turn him into a basketball.
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
that and the arm stretching scene at the end too, which doesn't look good either.
yeah, obviously the effects look a lot better now. It does feel a lot like this movie, Ready Player One, where it's
I've
just
seen the comparison a lot too, actually, between
yeah,
the two of them.
where it's just reference after reference and barely any plot.
Well, to be fair, the movies do share a connection. They both have the Iron Giant in them as cameos, so that's one
Yeah,
connection they both share.
yeah, they have a bunch of cameos. That's the connection that they have.
Yeah, even Rick and Morty appears in this movie
Yeah, Big
of
Chungus,
all
Big
characters.
Chungus.
Yes, because Big Chungus, that's my favorite anime character.
Anyways, I mean, both of the movies, they're not like boring movies. They're definitely entertaining. Would I watch them again? No, I'm fine, thank
No,
you.
no, I don't think I will. Uh, I can tell you the main reason these movies succeed isn't because of Michael Jordan or LeBron James. They're famous figures, yes, but that's not why people watch them. They watch them for the Looney Tunes. They watch them for the cartoon antics. They watch them for the crazy mischief they get into. They don't watch them for Michael Jordan terribly stretching his arm out to score the last basket of the game or uh, LeBron James ridiculing his son for not liking basketball, which apparently is a thing in the movie. Like, they don't see that. They watch it for the Looney Tunes.
I don't think so, actually. I think that's why you're gonna watch it, but I think definitely LeBron is like the important part of the movie. I mean, he is
That
the
is,
main focus.
which is
And
a main
I
point.
would argue that the NBA is way more popular than the Looney Tunes currently.
I could see that too, to be honest. I mean,
And
when it
LeBron
comes,
James is the figure of the NBA right now. I mean, he's
oh,
not
he
in the
is.
final, but
Either way, I mean, like that's an interesting point to bring up because I can imagine some people will watch it for LeBron James, but several reviewers and people that I've seen when I was researching it for this podcast today, a lot of people didn't really care too much about the basketball players. They thought LeBron was an unnecessary addition. Some people would have preferred more emphasis on the Looney Tunes rather than the LeBron element, because one thing people had a problem with this new Space Jam movie was the marketing that they tried to shove down your throats for the King James logo, for LeBron's like quotes and like things that he does, like trying to recruit a player at the end. Apparently, he tries to do too, which is apparently a common trope that he likes to do in his basketball games, like jokingly recruit someone from the other team. A lot of people would have preferred the Looney Tunes part of it rather than the LeBron part of it for like a new legacy, for
I don't
example.
know. I haven't seen any reviews for this movie. I just like
I
what
looked
it
them
is.
up here and there. I don't always like taking reviews as fact or anything else because everyone should form their own opinion on it. But I will say this, I still think the Looney Tunes to an extent are the main reason. Sure, the basketball players are, absolutely. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, two of the biggest names in basketball and sports in general, but the Looney Tunes, I mean, come on, who doesn't want to see Yosemite Sam like shoot some balls, so to speak? Not mine, but basketballs, in general.
I don't know. I think it's definitely up to debate, and it definitely depends who you're going to ask. And I think that's just why this is a good idea for like marketing, and that's why they made the original movie
Oh
because
yeah,
I mean, kids like the Looney Tunes. Well, in the '90s, kids like the Looney Tunes and Michael Jordan, and their parents probably were also basketball fans, and then so that's how it was probably easier to sell. It's like, oh, so my kids get to watch Bugs Bunny, and I get Bill Murray and Michael Jordan. That's kind of interesting. And I think the same thing was kind of that's what they kind of tried to do with this one. But I did feel it was weird because it's a kids movie, and you're putting in Rick and Morty,
yeah,
Clockwork
like
Orange
Rick
references,
and Morty, and again,
Casablanca. Like kids are
which is weird.
kids.
Kids aren't
Kids.
going to get the references.
Yeah,
Even
no.
like the Iron Giant comparison I made before, like kids aren't going to know that movie. Hell, most people don't know that movie now for some reason, which is a fantastic film, but the point is like they put in so many characters and whatnot that they don't know what to do with. Warner Brothers, this seems to be a marketing campaign because like they include different franchises from what I've read, like Game of Thrones. They put in DC.
Yeah,
They
what
put
kids
in
are gonna be watching Game of
yeah. Who watches
Thrones?
Game of Thrones when you're like 10 years old and
I
you're like,
mean, there
oh,
were
wait,
kid
it's
actors on
crazy.
Game of Thrones that their parents wouldn't allow them to watch Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, I wonder why.
It's kind of a very violent show for kids.
Did, did you know that Game of Thrones has sex scenes, kids? If you're interested in that, please check it out.
It
Don't
has
check it out. Any parents watching.
incest scenes.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Damn it. Anyway, yeah, Space Jam 2, A New Legacy. Debatable quality of movie depending on what you're looking for, but one thing's for sure. It is at best, I think, an average movie.
I mean, you
Definitely
haven't
not
watched it though, so
true, but I'm going off first impressions here. What would you rate the movie out of 10?
I on Letterbox I gave it a 2.5 out of 5.
It's
It's
interesting you bring up like Letterbox, for example. It's like a film review site because I was thinking about making one and reviewing a film I saw recently that Emilio, I don't know, he would probably be interested in because it's related to another country. It's a very interesting
Zootopia.
film. Yes, Utopia, my favorite hentai film of all time. No, so it's this film. It takes the country of origin is Germany, specifically like Berlin and whatnot. That I had seen a lot of stuff with. It was following the. It was like the fall of like Lenin or like whatever his name is. It's about this guy that tries to convince his mom that Lenin is still in power after a certain time period, and it's like a bunch of antics and whatnot. I thought the movie was awful from what I had seen. It
Wow,
was kind of
that's like
it was
Goodbye Lenin,
really
but like Ryan didn't remember the
oh
description I
no no
gave in the episode where we talked about
oh
movies.
absolutely not no it's called Hello Putin.
Hello, Putin. Oh,
Yeah, it was a fantastic film. It was from 1946, I think it was, way
yeah. No,
before
I just watched.
the same timeline as the Berlin Wall collapse.
I just
But it
watch Hello
happened.
Kitty movies.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's exactly what it's based on. No, but I did actually research into Goodbye Lenin, which was a film I remember Emilio had mentioned as like his favorite film. Check out that episode if you haven't seen it yet, top 10 movies. But the Goodbye Lenin actually looks really good. from what I had seen of it. It
Yes.
actually looked like a really good movie. Which is
Daniel Bruhl is a treasure of humanity.
he's okay, I guess. I mean, some of his other roles I don't think were as good as Goodbye Lenin. For example, like Helmut Zemo that he plays in like the Marvel movies. Like, I don't know, man. Like his mustache wasn't very realistic to looking like a really good supervillain. I mean, he didn't have the handlebar or anything. I don't know. His accuracy just wasn't that great to me.
He had a
It's weird.
mustache.
But he didn't have a handlebar mustache though, and that's like a make it or break it factor in film. I mean,
That's
you
a
need
good
it. Plus,
point.
he didn't shave his head either. Like I'm taking inspiration from him. If he was, I would have said Daniel Bruhl. He inspired this, but I can't say that now because
Yeah,
he
that's
didn't
a
do it.
good point. I have a film appreciation class, and they taught us that. Yeah, so it is fact.
Oh yes,
Um,
absolutely. No, but for real though, Goodbye Lenin does. I wanted to bring this up here because Emilio had mentioned it. It does look like a good film, genuinely, from what I had seen.
yeah, I still
Good.
haven't watched the Now You See Me movie. So
Yes, I've been bringing this up to Emilio ever since our one episode we did. I forget if it was the movies episode or the TV episode. It was something like that.
it was a movie episode where you said it was honorable mentions.
Yes, I challenged him to review it for his show that he does, World Theater, on his
No,
YouTube
it
channel. I'm not
was
plugging his content, but you should go check it out. It's actually decent content for once. But but I challenged him to review Now You See Me for whenever he does a video on America. So I figure, Emilio, make the Now You See Me video. I'm challenging you. Do it.
I'm not even gonna do it in the series. I'm gonna give it its own full
Yeah,
episode.
see, this man is clearly dedicated to his craft. He knows what he's
I'm
talking about
but you have to
sometimes.
wait till September because I have a
Damn
bunch
it.
of videos like you did that I
No,
have to do. Um,
no.
so stay tuned. No, it's just the thing is. So for those of you who don't know, World Theater is this series where I try to watch one movie from each country around the world. But there's three countries that I'm gonna have a major issue with finding a movie. Uh, those three countries are Mexico, India, and the United States.
I was gonna say, I thought Alaska was one of your countries you were gonna be listed there.
The United Nations have ignored my letters.
Thank goodness for that. I'm so glad I burned every single one of them before they were sent. Thank
Yeah,
you,
so
Postal Service.
I follow the recognized countries by the UN, even though
I was gonna
I have opinions of some places that should be recognized. Uh, they won't be recognized of World Theater.
Alaska's the state. But I am curious though, why the like is it because there's so many movies in like Mexico and the US and whatnot? Is that the
No,
reason?
Mexico is hard because I am from Mexico, so regardless of what score I give it, it's gonna be biased.
Yeah, I mean
So it's kind of hard. And
yes.
the United States and India, it's hard because those are the two biggest film producers in the world. So narrowing it down to one movie is gonna be kind of hard.
Come on, dude. Clearly you should for the United I don't know about India. I don't know of too many films from there that would be like a good pick. I can tell you from the United States, like the best film, you need to review the first Trolls movie. That's clearly
Trolls
the best
movie.
one that's ever released. Yeah, the first one that ever released. I would very much recommend it. I've seen the first Trolls movie. I'm not proud of it, but I saw it, and it wasn't that good of a movie. But
Yeah,
you should still see.
Ryan's gonna get banned from the United States after I drop the episode.
Undoubtedly, if I proclaim that is the best one, the government's gonna come to me like, so this is the movie you choose to represent us with? Get the fudge out of here!
Yeah.
Nobody likes you. Like, damn it! I should have known.
So we've been talking about sports, and interesting thing, this Friday the Olympics begin. So, is there a sport that you're excited to see in the Olympics?
Oh yes, I am so looking forward to it. Extreme masturbation is going to be like my favorite event.
Oh, dude, remember when we won gold medal in that one that you helped me?
I know,
like...
it was great, right? I mean, look, there was like two different categories. Like I won the two-handed one clearly because I had the best between the two of us. Emilio, he free-handed it and he got like second place or something. Like he didn't get gold, but we got
still
close.
Counts.
We got
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can't make it this year, but you know what? We have a representative team going in. Our cousins are actually going in.
Yeah. There will be an Olympic team representing Ryansville, Pennsylvania at the Olympics. We're very excited. It's our first year finally competing as a nation.
Yep. We're gonna get the bronze this year again, guys. I can see it now.
Yeah,
We're not getting
if we get bronze, I feel like we're proud. I mean, in Ryansville, Pennsylvania, there's 500 people, so
I mean, yeah,
we're
we're
pretty
we're just
excited.
gonna we're just gonna melt the bronze medals down anyway and use them as like toothpicks or something anyway. So it won't even
Yeah,
matter.
yeah. No,
But
but
no, an
the
actual
Olympics.
yeah, the an actual event I'm looking forward to. Honestly, this is something I mentioned before. I'm looking forward to a lot of the track centered events they actually
Yeah,
have there, like discus, javelin, that kind of thing. The meter dashes and whatnot they have. I'm looking forward to all those events there as
yeah,
well. Because I've never mentioned this on the podcast. I don't think the one sport that I've actually competed in my life, like I played basketball, football, and all that stuff, but actually in school was track and field. I did my senior year, so I have a passion for those sports. So I'm looking forward to seeing those, especially like javelin and whatnot. It'll be nice.
yeah. I like track and field, but I never got to compete in anything. What I did compete in was volleyball and soccer. Um, I was in soccer. I played defense. I was okay, and same thing in volleyball. I never understood it why I was caught playing defense, but whatever.
Uh,
My friend was the coach of the volleyball team, and I told him like, bro, why am I defense on volleyball? And like, bro, it's just that I
because
have no one else to put there. I'm like, well,
you're basically just like the default skin of volleyball, is
yeah,
what you're
dude.
basically at this point.
I mean, it's not like I did a bad job, but no, track and field is cool. I mean, here in Mexico, we don't do the mile, we do the kilometer, which I think is just twice as long.
I
Uh,
mean, I would imagine so. I mean, I know every country has their own version of stuff like temperature, for example. Like, there's different units of measurement that are used. Like, in the case of like you guys use kilometers, America, like we, like for my track and field days, we've used like three
yeah,
mile
yeah,
runs,
you
two
use
mile runs,
the
1
imperial
mile.
unit,
Yeah,
right?
I think something like that. Yeah, because
Yeah,
for like even our practice sessions back during track, we would always have the same routine. Like I was a thrower, so I threw discus, I threw javelin, I also threw I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's like it has a specific shot put. That's it. I also threw shot put. But we'd always started off with a run. We would always run around a track like for geez, we had like mile runs and whatnot. We had to do like a started track. I was definitely more fit in those days, guys, than what I am now. Let me tell you right now, I had a six pack and everything.
he's lying
That's a
to us. He
lie.
was the water guy.
I was the water boy. I took inspiration from Adam Sandler actually, and I always every time I messed up, I blamed it on my mom. So that got me out of a lot of trouble. So hence my track experience was pretty varied.
Yeah. I mean, back then, the only sports I used to watch was the ones that Mexico was the best at, like
Um,
taekwondo, soccer, diving,
Prison reform.
prison reform. We're really good at prison reform. Not like the United States that has the largest prison population in the world, but shout
Oh
out.
no, that is true. Like I was like I was like a prisoner in one of those things for a long time. I was in a gulag last season for Russia, so I have no room to comment on that. After I'd eat borscht off the floor every day.
Yeah, but now my favorite sport is rugby. It's really
Rugby.
fun. Uh, it's fun to watch. I would never play rugby. It's extremely.
I was gonna say, dude, if I ever saw you play a rugby match, the only thing that I'm gonna see of you, I'll see your tattered jersey laying on the ground and you flying off into space, just a blinking star in the sky. That's all I
Yeah,
would
the
see.
trash talk boys wouldn't last in a rugby game. No, I like
Absolutely
rugby at
not.
the Olympics because they play rugby 7. So I think regularly in rugby is 11 players versus 11, but here is a 7 on 7. So there's a lot more fluidity in the game and it's a lot more fast paced than the regular version of rugby. At least I think that's more entertaining.
I guess so here and there. Rugby was something I've been curious about. I would never play rugby either. I would never last in a rugby match. I'm surprised that I last in hopscotch, much less rugby. But like, the point is with rugby, that is a very extreme sport. I can see why people enjoy watching it. It's not something I've ever really gotten into myself. I think the sport I've watched the most is probably football, specifically like the NFL, like we've talked
Yeah.
about in the past.
Yeah.
That's probably the most consistent sport that I've ever watched. That and another big sport around here for me is like hockey. I've never gotten to hockey, but there are some die-hard
Oh,
hockey fans.
hockey is really fun. I went to a hockey game once when I was in the United States. It's
With the
like
team
awesome.
first.
It's like It's like wrestling on ice skates, bro. That's
So wait, you're telling me hockey's fake too? If it's like wrestling, is hockey fake too? Do they not
oh
know?
god. Now we're gonna flood the comments with angry WWE fans.
That's right, everyone. I said it. I know they have to do real stunts and everything, but come on. When was the last time you saw an official regulated match, them bashing each other with
Yeah.
chairs, ladders, and flamethrowers or whatever the hell they do nowadays?
I mean, I think we can also get into that like wrestling, like Olympic wrestling, obviously isn't as
Yeah,
entertaining as WWE
I
type
mean, clearly
wrestling.
not, no. But
But
you know,
I mean, once you understand like the rules, it can be kind of fun.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's entertaining. Don't get me wrong. I
yeah,
think that's like a big draw of like WWE, like even the Olympic wrestling. Like you know it. I'm going to say it, everyone. He's going to say the word. It is staged in a lot of regards,
are you telling me that
but
John Cena can't do those things in real life?
oh yeah, definitely. Well, he definitely can't act, so you may as well just go with WWE at this point. You may as well say that's his primary talent because trust me, he can't act real shit anyway. Aside from, I haven't seen F9 yet, so I don't know. But the
Yeah,
point is, in official
he was in the
regulation.
Fred movie.
Oh yeah, because everyone loved the Fred movies.
Can I review that one for World Theater?
Oh, that would be
USA,
amazing.
USA.
I would love to see you review the first one. They're all bad, but you know the first one carries a bit of weight. But the point is, yeah, like when you see these staged acts and like these wrestling matches and whatnot, you get the idea of how they do it. But it is entertaining. I will say
Yeah.
that it is definitely entertaining still.
I mean, yeah, it's it's rigged who's gonna win, but it's yeah. I mean,
But yeah, you have an idea. I mean,
it's like going to the theater or watching a movie. Like,
like you get an idea of what to expect. Like
yeah,
if you know the movie, if you watch a trailer of the movie and it's from like a popular franchise like Fast and Furious, like you know what to expect going
are you
into it.
telling me that Iron Man didn't actually fight Thanos, bro?
Yeah, I know it's crazy, right? Turns out Thanos didn't actually wipe out half the universe. Otherwise, I would have been the one host of Trash Talk, and I
Oh
would have
God,
invited on. Yeah, I would have invited on a new co-host, my twin brother Brian.
it
He
would
would have
have
been a
been
great
really
addition.
funny if like Brian was sitting right here and then I would
Just
flip back
disappeared
up.
in the
Like,
middle of an episode.
I mean, that's the big question. What happens if you were right in a plane or like a boat
Well,
with
yeah.
the
See,
blip thing?
Marvel never explained that for Endgame, but I can tell you, if we were recording an episode of the podcast and that would ever happen, and I disappeared, Emilio would be like, "I'm free, finally! I can end this damn show. You all suck. Fuck all of you. This show's over."
Yeah, I would join Thanos and say, Thanos, they're traveling back in time. I can't take Ryan back.
We have to. After the show is like, wait, I need this show. I need to make payments every month on my rent. All right, we need Ryan back. Come on, Thanos, give me that damn time suck.
Um, no, I think if like okay, here's the thing. Here's my explanation for the airplane thing. If the Avengers would have been fighting Thanos' army, I feel like it would have been worldwide news, and everybody would be like, okay, this is kind of dangerous. Let's not like throw out any airplanes. It'd be like, or at least a lot of people would be kind of scared to go outside, thinking that there's weird goons fighting the Avengers around
I
town.
mean, yeah. I mean, we could go with like the logical answer though for like the airplane thing. Like half the people disappear, the pilot vanishes, half the people die because of the snap, the other half die in a fiery explosion as the airplane hits the earth because the pilot is gone.
Hold on. There's a pilot and a co-pilot. The
The
co-pilot is in
co-pilot was
charge
part of the one that died.
if the pilot misses.
The only explanation is Thanos specifically targeted all pilots and co-pilots in the snap. It wasn't as random as you think. But he wouldn't have. That way, Marvel had an out as to
Isn't
explain
it
how
isn't it
people
a
survived.
coincidence that only characters that knew how to fly stuff disappeared?
Exactly. Like I don't know. Marvel doesn't have to explain it now, so you know what? You could just write it off as Thanos just hates pilots.
And that's not it. That's just the theory. A
I
film
mean,
theory.
I'm saying game theory, you're right? Film theory. A film theory.
Film.
Damn it. I don't know. Like if
Music
that would
theory.
I mean, the interesting like Endgame, for example, is a movie that would never actually happen, but it brings up like an
Yeah,
interesting
I wonder
question.
why. I wonder
I
what
don't
makes
know.
it an impossible movie.
I mean, okay, so my boyfriend is actually like a 7, 8 foot tall like purple guy with like three chins and a gauntlet. So I mean that part is possible, but the impossible part of the movie by far is how a raccoon could steal a metal arm off of Winter Soldier. Like that's the part I think is impossible. Raccoons don't go for shiny arms. They do go for everything else, but they don't steal shiny metal arms.
or
That
how the
not much they
rat,
don't do.
or how the rat saved Ant-Man in the beginning
Oh
of.
yeah, that's a good point too. I don't think that would have happened either. That was like the saddest part of the movie. Like
Yeah.
when Ant-Man realized, oh no, I spent 5 years trapped in a realm and I haven't aged at all. Damn it,
I
I
mean,
can't
but
grow so
for him it
sturdy.
wasn't. For him it wasn't 5 years. He felt like it was half an
No,
hour.
something like that. Yeah, because he was trapped in the quantum realm. Then he gets out. It's like, dude, it's like that was an epic trip, guys. So you guys trying to prank me? So, oh, it's been 5 years and I'm dead, presumed dead. Like, oh shit, what happened?
Anyways,
Yeah.
guys, to recap, we love sports.
Yes,
Um,
we love sports. What I was gonna say was before that was Endgame does bring up an actual question before the realism part was put into perspective. Thanos' goal in the movie was to help save life by erasing half of it so there'd be more resources. That is an interesting point. Why didn't he create double the resources?
yeah, that's
If
what
he
everyone
was
says. Yeah,
like literally though, I mean, like if that was a real life scenario, why wouldn't you just double the resources instead
because
of
then
killing
there
half the
wouldn't be a
planet?
movie, dummy.
Oh yeah, damn it! Sorry, I'm questioning Marvel logic again. Sorry, guys. There's no logic to back up here.
I
I'm
mean,
just
I
thinking.
guess you could argue that so Doctor Strange knew what was going to happen. So if they try to
Yeah, you
convince
didn't. Yeah,
Thanos to be like, bro, you could just double the resources.
you just say that of like the 14 million futures he saw, the one that they won, Iron Man had to die, and he's just trolling Tony the entire movie. Like, there's only one way to save him, and if Tony saw it, he's like, I got it. He just cuts off Thanos' arm before he snaps it with like a saw blade or something. As strange as like, you were supposed to die, bro. You, it's like you knew and didn't tell me. I mean, yeah. I mean, someone has to. It's a Marvel movie.
Yeah. Anyways, but the Olympics, I'm kind of excited, even though there's not going to be a crowd in any of the arenas, which is kind of lame.
Yeah, which is awful because even though things are improving here and there for parts of the pandemic, I will say this that they need to abide by other regulations like not having a group of people like in a crowded stadium. So I respect the Olympics for going the extra amount of precautions.
But
What
that
I
wasn't.
really
Hold on. Let me correct you, buddy, because that wasn't
go
technically the
ahead because
Olympic Committee. It was the government of Japan because the majority of Japanese people don't want the games to happen. Are you peeing or why are you
which is
shaking?
which is understandable. I'm actually just trying to buy time with the Olympics. I respect you, Japan. I'll be right back, folks. I have to go relieve myself. So, Emilio, you take over for a minute. I'll be back. Japan, you're awesome.
Anyways, as we look at that fat ass walking through the door, I'm going to hide now to scare Ryan when he comes back.
All right, I am back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that brief intermission. That Gatorade that I had earlier actually came back up. It appears that Emilio has vanished. So that's lay epic. So anyway, getting back to what we were talking before about the Olympics. It sucks that there won't be a crowd this year there. However, I can safely say that our team will be successful regardless. Thankfully, we don't have to appear in person for that. They have cameras now, so. But yeah, as far as the actual Olympics goes, I respect.
Ooh, this is the
Oh my!
ghost of trash talk pass.
Oh no! I was celebrating the fact I thought Emilio actually died. Damn it! Now I'm disappointed.
No, but yeah. So does that mean that the Rhinesville, Pennsylvania Olympic team can participate in the Olympics via Zoom?
Yeah, which is fantastic. Actually, thankfully, they don't even have to embarrass. We don't even have to embarrass ourselves this year by appearing in person. We just have the camera down. We don't even need to show our face this year.
We can be
Like
like
it's gonna be.
we can be like every student that's like, oh, I'm sorry, teacher, but my camera doesn't work. Oh, my microphone doesn't work.
And the next scene that shows up was like that one kid that blocks his camera out in a Zoom call, but he's like doing something like well, let's just say he's doing something inappropriate and his camera comes up. It's like, oh my gosh, extra credit, but oh my gosh.
Uh, yeah, Olympics. People in Japan don't want to do them. They're expensive.
True. I imagine it's a lot of money, especially to run like the Olympics period the way they do. Like,
So that's why Ryansville, Pennsylvania is happy to announce that we will be hosting the Olympics this summer.
yep, we are going to be the commentators this year. We are not running the torch this year, though, guys,
Fire
because there
hazard.
isn't. Yeah, fire hazard is not an active. Look, normally we would have done it. If there was a crowd and there was a potential to set everyone there on fire, absolutely we would have done it. However, this year because there's no crowd, we are not allowed to run the torch. Sorry.
Sadly.
Yeah, which
Um,
sucks, but rules. We have to abide by the regulations.
yeah. How was your adventure to the bathroom? Did you have any issues peeing or?
Yeah, bro. Actually, it was that Gatorade that I had earlier. Let me tell you, it came back with a vengeance. I had to fight it a lot, but eventually I won. I almost drowned, but I'm still here. Fortunately for all of you out there, Emilio, I'm sure was celebrating the entire time while I was gone. He's like,
Yeah.
man, I hope he slips and drowns in his own toilet. That'd be epic.
Uh, Olympics. Olympics. We love sports, everybody.
Yes, we
Uh,
do. Actually, everyone. Okay, fine. Before we move on, I have a confession to make. I didn't go to the bathroom. That's not why I actually stepped out. The real reason I stepped out was I snuck into Emilio's house and his bed's now wet. I'm sorry, buddy. Um. Yes. Now we can exchange. I pissed your bed stories.
well, we
You go
can
first.
rate every time we've pissed the bed. So number 10, I feel like would be.
That's a whole episode in itself.
uh,
Like the fact you
anyways,
look back at your bed just in case there was a wet spot there at the foot of it. It's like, did he actually do it?
yeah, I did doubt it for a minute there. Um, I'm trying to think what else happened. Olympic
Um,
story, interesting Olympic story. So a big
all right.
issue apparently in the Olympic Villa is the athletes having sex during the games.
Oh my gosh. I thought you were gonna say steroids or something like that came up,
Yeah, we
which
can
has
talk
happened.
about that. Yeah, shout out to Russia. Um, After that, the trash talk boys were never seen again. Um,
Nope, they're rotting away in a gulag at the bottom of the ocean. So thank you. Very epic Putin. Thank you.
it was a prank, bro. Anyways, so it's an issue that they have sex in the Olympic Villa. So Japan was like, no, 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 no premarital sex. That's a sin. Um, so, so no sex for the Ryansville, Pennsylvania team at the games.
Unfortunately, no. That's why I got banned last year. So maybe this is a good thing.
I was just screaming too hard. Anyways, so anyway, so
How do we follow up from that?
so in
Yeah,
order to
but
be eco friendly, they made the beds out of cardboard, which this means that if you have sex on them, it's gonna break immediately.
I was gonna say,
Hey everybody, quick clarification here. The beds do not break when one has sex on them. So fake news, sorry, but still kind of funny.
if they're doing that with cardboard, they're either appealing to homeless people more, or they're seriously trying to prevent sex from happening at the Olympics.
But
Either
that's
way,
oh Ryan, you're so innocent. You can have sex standing up, on the floor, in the
oh
shower,
man,
in the car. Dude,
why
there's an
did I
endless
try?
amount of possibilities. In the
Well,
bathroom.
I've never done it in any of those locations. I haven't even had it yet. The closest thing I've ever had, I've shit in the shower. Like that's probably the closest thing that I get to.
I thought you were gonna say I jerked off with my left hand.
Oh yeah, that too. Like I backhanded his dog
I'm
once.
gonna get a message that was like, bro, delete that. Just leave the left hand stuff in.
I can't have anyone know I got shit in the shower, which I don't actually do. But hey, let the fan fiction roll.
Who's writing fan fiction of this? Am
The
I gonna
trash
have
talk
to?
fan fiction.
We're gonna have to start a better help like public thing for everybody. It's like take if you're writing Ryan's taking a shit in the shower as your fanfic, I'm gonna have to speak to your parents after school, guys.
Yeah, we're
Um,
gonna call your principal and get yourself a therapist. He'll probably help you write it by the end, by the time you're done explaining it. So it's not gonna do anything. But hey, we need to have a serious talk though.
so, what do you think about the cardboard beds?
I don't know. That's an interesting. I never thought that would have been an issue with the Olympics. I mean, the thing that I've heard
Yeah,
about like
apparently in
actual
Brazil, the thing I heard that they spent a lot of money in Brazil for condoms for the last Olympics in Rio, just
how much do you
because
want the divorce rates?
I heard you have sex with the entire water polo team from Croatia. What the frick, Michael Phelps?
Oh my gosh. I mean, like I said, I never would have thought that would have been an actual issue. Like issues that I've heard about in the past, like I've read about accounts, like historically speaking, too, with the Olympics. It's mostly been players like cheating in some regard, or players like taking steroids or performance enhancing drugs to make themselves like go better. Which is why, like, one fun fact about the Olympics, which this is an actual like historical artifact people can sell and is collectible.
Yeah,
Back in
the
like the 80s and
Olympics start with the letter O. That's
yeah,
the fun fact of the day.
that's the fun fact. No, in the 80s and 90s, the Olympics, they required people like because of the steroids became like a much bigger use during that time frame when it started up more. They required people to do urine tests more during that time frame, and if you passed a urine test, they gave you a patch that basically said, "Hey, your urine's clean. You're good to go in the Olympics," and
Your
that's the
piss
collectible
is
patch.
epic.
Yeah, basically, that's basically what the patch meant, and apparently that's collectible. It's worth money. So if you have any of these patches, that's really sad, but you may as well go and sell it, right?
I mean, I feel like you could be like you can like celebrate it ironically, like my piss is the best piss in the land.
It's steroid free. That's not saying much because it's the Olympics, but it's steroid
I
free.
mean, in Sochi, what the Russian team did is that they cheated like epically. Like they had secret doors to like. Okay, so if you haven't watched the documentary Icarus on Netflix, you should check it out. It's how the Russian team did cheat in the Sochi Winter Olympics. Uh, anyways, so what they did was that there was this room that was specifically for the Olympic Committee people, and there's where they kept the urine samples. So the athletes from the Russian team would pee there. They would take them to the lab, and they were kept there for a bit. But what the Olympic Committee didn't know is that the Russian Olympic Committee had a secret door where they would enter and put and change the urine samples. It was crazy. It was a crazy operation. Like the doctor that orchestrated that said, "This is ridiculous. What am I doing with my life?" And ratted on Putin. And right now
Yeah,
he's on the fucking run because his life is in
yeah,
danger
no
for cheating
kidding.
on the freaking Olympics. That's crazy.
I mean, I know that's like Edward Snowden on like an entirely
Yeah.
different level. Instead of
I mean,
exposing United States,
Edward Snowden ran to Putin. He didn't. He isn't running
yeah,
away
true.
from
This guy's
Putin.
running away from Putin because he exposed like this operation. I don't know
Yeah.
what's more sad. The fact that you had to expose the fact the government's spying on you with microwaves and ovens, or the fact you exposed them for changing out their urine from the Russian government. I don't know which one's worse.
Yeah, I mean the thing is like obviously I feel like the spying through microwaves. Okay, so it wasn't for microwaves. For anyone who would have a brain cell, it wasn't with microwaves. The Patriot Act. I do think that's worse, but the cheating in the Olympics was used so that Putin would look cool in front of the Russian people after they won all these medals.
Which
And
is, I think that's a dumber reason then to
yeah,
have
yeah,
the
yeah. But
operation go on.
when everybody was happy that they did so well in the Olympics compared to the big powerhouses in the Olympics, which are China and the United States, that they beat both of them, um, that made Putin look really good. And then he invaded Crimea. So, so it was sort of that.
I guess that makes sense too. I mean, like, if you have to cheat at the Olympics of all things, though, to prove that your team's better, it's funny because there was like that big, I think it was the Olympics that the United States and there was a case in like the 90s or something where the US or another country had like a completely improvised team of like young players that had little to no hockey experience, yet they went against a pro Russian team and they won, which is considered like one of the biggest sports victories, I think, in history. I forget the exact name of it or
The
like when it
Mighty
took place,
Ducks.
but it may as well have been the Mighty Ducks. I have no idea, but that's an actual match that happened. And Russia, like it was, if you placed bets on that team, then you're knee deep in freaking debt, guys, because you're never getting that money back. It was a big upset for people
Yeah,
then there.
also inflation. So.
Yes, because inflation is the sole reason why. Because no one thought the team could win. Like the
Yeah,
team
that's a.
comprised of like these young guys.
I
Is
mean,
it? It's a real thing though.
underdogs stories are always cool. Uh, I think my favorite underdog story, and I mean, Ryan said an American underdog story, so I think it's only fair I talk about a Mexican underdog story.
The time
So
Emilio actually went underneath his dog and opened his mouth, and that was all that he remembers.
yeah, but that wasn't in the Olympics.
Oh
Um,
yeah, okay, fine. Sorry, Olympic story.
yeah,
All
you
right,
told me to do that. You were like, bro, when I did it, it was amazing.
I know it
Anyway,
was great. Free lemonade, man. It was yellow at least, from what I
I
remember.
mean, when Mexico won the Olympic gold medal in soccer and against Brazil, which is like the biggest team in soccer, so that was like a
Yeah,
huge upset.
we need to milk dogs. That's the new Olympic event, milking your dog.
I'm I'm gonna have to talk to your parents after this. I'm concerned of what
Oh,
type of porn you're
not
watching.
again, man. They're already on me about. Man, they were already on me about like the OnlyFans thing last time about milking myself on camera. Now I got to explain milking dogs. Like, fine.
But you know what's well, I mean another doping story that I there's two doping scandals that I think were ridiculous. The more recent one was with this American track and field racer. She like smoked weed and before a race because she was dealing with depression, and
Yeah,
then she took the test and it came out positive and she was banned, which is kind of bullshit. Also, like weed doesn't make you a better runner; it
I
relaxes
no,
your muscles. Like you're actually
which is
worse.
if anything, your performance is going to be worse off. Instead of making you like the Flash and run a million miles an hour, it's going to make you like Snorlax from Pokemon. You're just going to be like so tired and out of it. Like,
Yo, what the frick, bro?
yo, what's good stuff? Hey, what's the Olympics again?
Um, I mean, I saw a really funny tweet that was like, guys, let's just let them dope each other. Like, let's see how fast they can go.
Let's let's see how long it takes them to actually complete a race with them taking the weed instead. Like, because come on, I mean, instead of I don't get that. I think I saw the news of it like here and there. It doesn't make much sense to me because if people are taking it for like depression and whatnot, coping with different things like that, but then they're afraid that they're gonna be like pro athletes after that, like why? That doesn't make any sense.
Also, like, I mean, weed's decriminalized in so many countries, and most
I mean,
people
yeah,
don't
like
really care. So
I mean, people we used to be a big thing years ago, like when like oh man, they're bringing it into like official laws, but then now it's like a commonly accepted thing amongst most people.
yeah, it's
Where
like
now
alcohol.
you don't hear about it. Yeah, you don't even hear about it now. I mean, the closest thing to weed now, from like what I hear about in the news, is like this so and so state is like opening up a new dispensary or
Yeah.
something like that. Like, or it's becoming like more accepted for medication. Like, it's nothing controversial really nowadays.
But the other instance I think of like doping that went wrong was this Peruvian player. So for those of you who don't know, Peru has like a very high altitude in comparisons, comparing it to the sea level. So if you go
Oh,
there, you're gonna get super dizzy, right?
oh yeah.
So like there's pictures of other like rival teams playing in like Peru and Bolivia, and they have to get like oxygen masks because the altitude just fucks them up incredibly. Like it's really bad. So what this player did is that he took a traditional remedy, which is I think there's called coke leaves. So you guys are thinking, no, cocaine. He took cocaine.
I was
No.
actually thinking of the Coco movie that came out in like 2017
Yeah,
from Disney.
love that movie.
Yes,
Uh
because you haven't made like how many fucking videos on it already.
I've made
I,
two. There you've made more update videos. Um
but you're basically milking an awful movie for everything it's worth at that point.
I've made two videos, okay?
I mean, yeah,
One
but that's
was in
more than
2018.
necessary.
Anyway, so he took coke leaves and it helped him with like his dizziness and he got better. But then the doping test came back and the officials were like, this guy took cocaine before the game. Like, what the hell?
He's like he basically that's like eating a Hershey's chocolate bar beforehand, and they're like, "Holy shit, you started cocaine before this. You're not allowing you in there." It's like, doesn't okay, that doesn't
Also,
make any sense.
how would cocaine improve your performance?
It wouldn't just make you see like weird shit. I wouldn't know personally, but it'd probably just make them see like pink elephants or something like that dancing across the field. Like, oh, bro,
I
it wouldn't
mean,
help them at all.
my sister and I were talking about this the other day. It's like, what if there's an athlete that has like ADHD and they need like Adderall? Like, would that come in the doping test?
So instead of saying like Adderall, they like snort cocaine instead of
This guy's snorting cocaine.
like, whoa, but don't worry, it's just Adderall, just crushed up in a fine powder.
I think actually now that we're talking about like people with disabilities in the Olympics, I think the craziest cheating story I've heard is in the Special Olympics, well the Paralympics, uh, the Spanish team cheated by because I think you needed to have only basketball players with autism, but these guys cheated and said that they all had autism, but none of them. Like maybe the guys on the bench had autism, but all the other guys
Yeah,
were
yeah.
neurodivergent.
I don't like that at all. Like
They
that's like
yeah
I hate that so much. I've worked and have known people with like autism and whatnot, and they are some of the best people you could meet. That I've ever interacted with. I despise that. So there's people a piece of shit for that one. I
yeah
can't stand it. It's awful.
yeah like it's really bad. I mean, there
Yeah,
was this journalist went undercover and he joined the team. But like at the same time, it's like, bro, like sure, you broke the news, but you
yeah. You
also
basically,
collaborated.
yeah, you helped cause it. Like you contributed to the story that you reported on. It's like, all right then.
Like you waited to blow the whistle until the very end.
And yeah, like right after like the match had happened and the winner was declared, and you're like, oh yeah, by the way, these guys, they cheated.
Yeah.
By the way, I gotta be honest though, we like the one example I go back to when like you mentioned the story is like there's this one South Park episode they did. I remember a while back where like one of the characters, Cartman on the show, pretended to be autistic in order to join like a Special Olympics team. I don't like South Park, and I hate that episode even more just because of that interpretation alone. I can't stand that shit. It's awful.
Yeah, considering it actually happened. Maybe it was inspired by the South Park episode,
I
actually.
really hope not. I really do because that would just lower my expectations of the show even less than what it
I
already is.
I've never watched it. I've heard some good things, some bad things.
I don't personally like it. The only episode I ever saw was when I was like in elementary school or something, and my cousin was watching me, and it was the one where Walmart was taking over.
Like real
It,
life.
yeah, basically, like Walmart was the episode was literally had two themes. Walmart and corporation was taking over, and people shit themselves after they die. Like that was like the two things. That was like the two things that came out of that episode. But like, yeah, but that story though with those guys, like, yeah, that's the worst one for me. Like the other ones are really stupid. Like, especially the one about like smoking the joint beforehand. Like that's not gonna help you be a star athlete. But like the one where like they pretended to be
Yeah,
autistic, like
but
that.
like the smoking a joint, I don't think she was cheating. I think she was just coping.
No, no, I think that was just stupid. She wasn't cheating. Period. I don't think in that case. Like
Yeah.
that was just awful. The one that actively like upsets me, like that we've talked about, is like the one where the guys pretend to be autistic. Like that one's just disgusting to me. I hate
Yeah.
that so much.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah,
But
there's not much you can add about that. Like, yeah, it's
no,
terrible.
it's just disgusting. But it did
Yeah.
remind me that when Emilio brought up the location of Peru, it reminded me of a piece of my family history that I completely forgot about. I actually have an aunt from Chile.
Oh,
I
really?
actually forgot about that. Yeah, she's native to Chile. Actually, one of my uncles on my mom's side is actually married to her, and they have two kids. So
Oh, that's cool.
I completely forgot to mention that actually a little while back, but I just remembered because I haven't seen him in so long. But yeah, they met on a cruise line, and so I have an aunt from Chile. Everybody
Ryan is Chilean.
confirmed. That's where my presidency is actually going to be going. It's not
Yeah.
going to be Peru. It's going to not Brazil. It's going to be in Chile.
Oh man, I was really
Yeah,
excited.
sorry guys.
I just think it's really funny how in the UK and in Brazil, anybody can sort of become a candidate and has like free airtime on TV. I mean,
Yeah, we brought this.
it's a terrible idea,
I
but
mean, it is, but it's entertaining because you've brought up like we talked about this like many episodes ago, but like
yeah.
you brought up like a few examples. You saw like there's one guy that dressed up as Wolverine, and
Yeah.
there was another guy that dressed up as like Big Bird or something like that from like Sesame Street. It was like a bunch of crazy random shit. If I was going to be on there, I would have totally dressed up as Nick Wilde from Zootopia. That is like
Hell yeah,
my
dude.
my number one like furry fan fiction. It is my I'm not a furry. I'm not even no. Please leave that out of your fan fictions, trash talk fans. Please, I am not a furry. Emilio is, but I'm not.
I love Yif. Um, I'm also not a furry. Uh,
Yeah, definitely not.
I
That
just
explains why he was at Rainforest.
I just find it really funny. Like I don't know, there's some stuff about like if someone's a furry, I respect that. I don't really care.
Yeah,
But
one of my friends is furry.
there's like a lot of stuff, like some anti-furry stuff that I see that's like even more cringe. But I don't know. Just
I mean,
whatever.
if you're into that kind of thing, you know what? That's respectable. Just if
And
you ever
please
need any
invite
advice,
us.
through and invite us and let us know because we are professional fursuit makers too. Like we've made a lot of fursuits in the past. Like most of the ones out there in public, we've actually made. So if you guys need a commission, we're very cheap. We know where to put the butt flaps, not the front like some of you guys want, but the back. Like we know where to put it and everything. Amelia knows where to put the tail in. He taught
Trust
me that
us,
one.
guys. Trust us. We're the professionals here.
We are very cheap. We only charge $10,000 a suit. That is very reasonable because we use the best materials, mostly from like
Real animals.
yeah, real animals and the dump behind Emilio's house. So we get materials from there, and also the dump from that's nearby my house. We also take stuff from there too, like used diapers, condoms, that kind of thing. We use
Yeah, it's
professional.
recycled material, guys.
Yeah,
Cruelty free. Except for
cruelty
the
free.
animals, because
Yeah, cruelty free, except for using live animals.
we've already, like many animal rights organizations are trying to shut us down, actually.
God damn
Um,
you, Peter.
Screw you, Peter. Um, but cheating at the Olympics, do not
Yeah,
try
that
it out, guys.
no, please do not. If you're going to cheat at the
Or at least
Olympics,
cheat in
please,
a funny way. Don't do
yeah,
like
cheat in a,
the basketball team. Cheat like the
don't do
Russian guys. That was funny. Well,
yeah.
probably not because the guy's on the run. So maybe
If you're gonna cheat, like don't do the autistic thing because that's horrible. But and also don't do like steroids. Don't worry about marijuana. Don't even switch out your urine or anything. Just distract the other opponents. Be a friend of someone who's competing. Streak across the field and distract everybody and let the other people go because they'll be expecting it. So your
yeah,
friend will win guaranteed.
yeah. Assert your dominance that way.
Yes, and
I actually
guys, and also
remembered another. So like Ryan did a joke a while ago when we're talking about the NFL, and I mean obviously as we all know the Packers did better than the Steelers,
yeah, well, like I
as
said,
we all
the
expected that would happen.
bus accident impending.
No, but I was going to talk about that. Ryan's joke that he was going to practice his baseball swing to break kneecaps, but before the Winter Olympics, there were two figure skaters. They were competing for the last spot on the Olympic team, and the other girl sent someone to bust the other girl's kneecaps
Oh
so she
no,
would take the other girl's place.
no.
So that's something that actually happened that I learned.
Oh no! Did I inspire someone
I
to get
see what you've
kneecapped?
done. You think
Oh no! It was supposed to be the Packers, not ice skaters. Dang it! There was clearly a communication error, so I'll make it clear. Ice skaters, please do not kneecap each other. The Green Bay Packers, open season, so that way I can
oh,
win
what
the
the
next pick.
heck?
But please, just leave the ice skaters alone. They have it hard enough. They barely make rent. I mean, like look at their careers. Like leave them alone. Emilio was once an ice skater. I mean, look where he ended up. He's doing a
I
shitty podcast.
I actually have a friend that practiced ice skating, but he had to drop
Oh,
out.
really?
Yeah. Oh,
I
you know him. You know him. The guy, the musician guy, Fuad.
shit. It starts with an A.
Fuad.
Alex. Was it Alex?
Fuad. His name. So, Alex is his middle name, but no one I know calls him that. Anyways, only he.
I called him that, I think, for the episode. That's how I remember him. Like, is that Alex? I think the guy with the name Alex in there.
I remember
But yeah,
Ryan as official.
yes, that's not even part of my real name. Oh boy,
The boss official. Oh,
that
official.
reminds me. I never revealed my middle name either on this show ever.
What is it?
It's a bit of hidden trash talk lore. You guys are gonna have to guess because I'll never tell.
Huge erection. I knew it.
Yes, dude, that's my like high school nickname. That's not my middle name.
No.
No, but
I was
I've
just
never.
called a bunch of slurs by my classmates.
All right then. Well, back to ice skating.
Um,
Interesting that one of your friends actually practiced ice skating. I don't know anybody that actually has done ice skating. I've never tried it. I could barely rollerblade. There was a
okay.
rollerblading facility in a town near my house, and that's the closest I went there once. Or no, I went there like twice, but the last time I was there was like 5 years ago because when I was there with my mom at the time, she fell and broke her arm, and we left right afterwards. So I didn't really get to practice very much in terms of anything like rollerblading or ice skating.
Yeah, ice skating is actually fun. I like ice skating. Obviously, there's an ice skating ring near my house, but I rarely go there. I think the best ice skating experience was when I got to ice skate in an Olympic facility. I
Whoa.
Yeah, it was really cool. So my for those of you who don't know, my family a lot of it lives in Wisconsin, and there they have an Olympic training facility where they train speed speed skating, I think it's called. By
Hmm.
the way, that's a really cool sport. I mean, it's like the one I always watch in the Winter Olympics.
I'm see. I have to ask my uncle because my uncle's from Wisconsin, and I have to ask him if he's ever done that there because he grew up there. So I have to check with him on that one.
Yeah, it's really epic there, guys. Check it out. If you live in Wisconsin, you should definitely go. You can get like a day pass. My voice is dying. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, like I said, the professionalism comes second here on this podcast. Like Emilio, again, his phone and everything else from before,
By
like
the way, the lotion is still there. No,
he's
sorry,
not.
guys. It's just that I'm a 40-year-old smoker.
You can't see the lotion now. For those of you listening, it's not gonna matter, and
Yeah,
none of you watched the video version, so you're not gonna have any idea what this
that's
looks like.
something I. That's actually that one. Something I wanted to bring by you. Like most people listen to this show, but they don't know who we are from YouTube.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's
that's
like
true.
we make jokes about each other's channel, and there's
It
people
was like,
listening
but
to
no
this.
one knows about it. At this point, it's like an inside joke between me and Emilio because, like, legitimately, I don't think any of you guys who listen to this show watch us on YouTube. Which you should definitely watch my channel for like great content. Emilio's channel is hit or miss, like at best, but you guys should definitely check out like the content regardless
Are
and
we
form an
sure
opinion.
about that though?
I mean,
Um,
you made two Coco videos. What do you mean? Are we sure about that?
you've made like 5 Jake Paul Supreme videos.
Yeah, that was one video, and that was a parody video. It was actually pretty good. Thank you very much.
Sure. Um,
Thank you.
because the other day I was listening to a podcast that had like 5 people on it, but none of them introduced themselves. So I was like, who the frick is talking?
See, we actually introduce ourselves. Like we refer for years now on this podcast, we refer to each other as like, this is Smelly Cheese, this is the boss. Like, but I don't think anyone truly knows any content
I mean, I
like
think
at all.
people, because it was just 2 people, right? So I think it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
so here's the one that lags out from the call every 5 seconds, and here's the guy that sounds like right now like he's been smoking for 10 years straight.
I'll
Um,
let you guys decide which one of us is which in that department.
yeah. Um,
I'm
wow, I
actually
just
both
got
of them.
really depressed all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And interesting thing, the other day I wanted to scream at Ryan because I was at a friend's house and we were having lunch, and I joked, put on some DeBoss videos on the TV, right? So he opens a YouTube app on the TV and he's puts in DeBoss, but there's so many channels called DeBoss, and DeBoss isn't even the most subscribed DeBoss channel. So
Scream at me for what? The fact that other people make boss channels,
the
I'm the
fact
boss
that
official.
no, dude, I was just like, why did you pick such a name that's so wildly used? Anyways, so I'm
Because
thinking I'm gonna bring this on the podcast, right? And then I see that on Apple Podcast, people can leave reviews. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check reviews of the podcast. And I'm gonna read them in front of Ryan. So I like open the Apple Podcast on my phone, and I put Trash Talk Podcast. Our show isn't on there, so I like have to scroll through a bunch of other shows that have the same name, and there it is, my freaking show, No reviews. Apparently, no one listens on Apple Podcasts. So I guess Ryan gave me the
Well,
idea for a generic name for this show as well.
yeah,
So
you're welcome. Everyone, I have inspired the name of Trash Talk, and is my name to boss. Like I've talked about my origin name. Like I don't know if I've ever talked about it explicitly on the show, but just to keep it brief, the reason I chose the boss in the first place was because I wanted to make rap music content on the platform, and which fortunately never took off. And the name I came up with was the boss. So, and that's the name. Whenever the rap content never happened, I rolled with the moniker DeBoss, and it picked up traction over the years. And the official part came in when I realized, well, gaming I don't really do as much anymore because I do gaming and then meme and skit content, which started to pick up traction in the small YouTube community. And then Hero Official was like, well, I'm not making Marvel or DC content. That didn't last very long. So like, what can I choose? And then Official came about, like because it's the official channel for doing all sorts of
the
content instead of
official The
labeling it.
Boss channel.
Yeah, the official DeBoss channel.
You should change
I'm
it to Ryan The Boss.
And that's an interesting thing too, because I was kind of wondering like what the reception of the podcast was for like reviews, because clearly like everyone, please go and review us on Apple Podcast, please.
You guys suck. 5 stars.
I wonder, is there any of the other review sites that I wonder people could leave reviews on for the podcast?
Like I know that our most listened to platform is Spotify, and you can't leave reviews there. So I don't know.
Damn it. Has anyone ever left a voice memo? Because you mentioned before, like you never check.
I could check right now, actually.
All right. Well, we can see if we can see live now for the episode, guys. If any of you are leaving voice memos, and if you're not, why? Send us a voice memo.
Thing is, I don't
Tell us
know where
how-
to. New episode messages.
I was going to say he doesn't even know where to check for it, so maybe that's why we haven't seen any of it.
You don't have any voice messages yet.
Damn it. Damn.
Thing is, I don't know where people listen to this show because Anchor has it like Spotify, Anchor, other, and like I'll read you the graphic right now. So it's
Here's a little bit of insight knowledge, ladies and gentlemen.
35% Spotify, 10% Anchor, 4% Overcast, 51% other. What's other?
What are the other streaming platforms you guys are listening to? And we know it has to be other people because like we've reached like other countries and whatnot in the past. Like we've hit like Ireland, for example, in the past was like a big one. Like years ago. Well, not years ago, but like last year, like last season.
Like years ago, 10 years ago when we started the Trash Talk podcast.
I mean, it's not like we have like a lot of you guys listening from like other countries. Like there's an international audience we have there, like to a degree, like outside of like the US and Mexico. Like here and there.
Hey, I'm gonna check Overcast. Maybe someone insulted us there.
Yeah, probably. 0 out of 5 stars, not enough hentai references.
Delete your account, bitch. Oh, crap.
Like, well, guess what, guys? This show's here to stay until the end of time, so all you haters can suck it.
This is BS. You have to create an account to check out Overcast. No, thank you.
Overcast. What's wrong with you guys? Come on.
What's wrong with listening to shit for free?
Yeah, exactly. You guys are listening to this show for free, so hell with it.
I don't know. I think this is a good time to say or to tell everyone that this is the last episode.
Yeah.
Of the Trash Talk podcast. Because we're changing the name because we've seen that there's like 50 other Trash Talk podcasts.
It's getting changed to the Ryan or the Emilio and Rian show, featuring hentai guests every episode. We're gonna get international porn stars on every single time, guys. So.
That sounds like an amazing show. I would listen to that.
Oh yeah, I would totally listen to that.
I feel like it'd be pretty funny if we named it like I don't know, like name it. Say a celebrity.
The Kanye West podcast.
Yeah, like the Kanye West podcast, but like neither of us are really Kanye fans, and neither of us are Kanye, as you probably noticed. So it'd be like kind of funny, like, time to listen to the Kanye podcast. What the frick is this?
Now, so because damn, President Kanye is going to sue us after hearing this.
Yeah, maybe we should look into changing the name because, like, for example, Good Mythical Morning did change their name back when they started. It used to be called
Hmm.
Good Morning Chia
I
Lincoln.
mean, maybe, but like Trash Talk's been the moniker of this show for going on 4 seasons now. I feel like if we were going to change the name, it
Yeah,
would be something like at least after this season or something like that.
I mean
Like
we've
for like a season.
we've probably outlived the other trash talk shows. I don't know. Let's look.
Like has our show been on longer than every other Trash Talk podcast out there? Because we're going on 4 seasons and how many years? The podcast was started in 2017, I think, something I believe. So
Yeah, I think so.
17, 18, 19, 20. It's going to 5 years. 5 years and 4 seasons so far, which is actually pretty good
Okay,
for
so
a
we're not
podcast.
even on the top 4 most watched trash talk podcast. Okay, so let's
Oh,
count them down. Let's count them down. I'm going to count down how many podcasts it takes to arrive at ours in Apple Podcasts. Trash Talk Podcast, Trash Talk Podcast, Trash Talk Podcast, Trash Talk with a chaotic duo. What the frick? That's our show.
we're the chaotic duo. Someone's trying to replace us. Damn
Yeah.
it.
Well, they talk about a lot of important issues. We should probably. Okay.
Yeah, we should be talking about more important issues than hentai
Movies
and
and series, toxic masculinity, true crime, 2020, life before university. But they only have 5 episodes.
yeah, like
They
what the
started
fuck?
this year.
What the fuck is wrong with these people? Like 5 episodes, we have like what 40 up? Yeah, 40.
Trash Talk Podcast, and it's 3 bros. I'm gonna show Ryan the cover art.
All right, that's an interesting line.
And they
Interesting
don't even
profile
they don't
picture.
even do clickbait for their episodes. It just says
No, so how am I supposed to attract people?
episode 17, Boxing Cowboys Bears Rogers, you're welcome.
Wow, that's a boring title.
What the fuck is this episode even about?
I
Okay.
know, right? I mean, honestly, like, we've covered this in the past, like for how the episodes are titled. Like, don't get me wrong, yes, they are clickbait, but they're attractive titles and they're unique to the show. But if you have something like a podcast episode, like let's talk about the new Steelers Packers game from last year, it's like that's boring. Like, who wants to? I wouldn't. That isn't very attractive to me as like someone who likes to listen to podcasts. Like,
Yeah. Our trash talk show is the 21st trash talk.
it's wow.
But
One.
all the other ones are like about sports, like basketball, like trash talk NBA, trash talk football.
I mean, what a coincidence. We're talking about sports for the majority of this episode. So, I mean, hey, maybe it's a sign. Sports every week.
Also, not all the trash talk podcasts are rated explicit like ours. So
No, which may or may not be true. When you put stuff like vasectomy in the title and whatnot, I feel like that's probably part of the reason why it was explicit. But, it's not like we're awful in that department either.
Here, this one's epic. Like our description is amazing. Friends Emilio and Ryan think they're super funny, so they do a podcast together. Join them as they talk trash. Literally. We literally talk trash.
Talk trash, which is true. Like pretty much every episode, talking trash about something. Is this? Oh, this is the segment where we review another podcast. Like we did it with mine.
Okay.
And we're doing it with this one.
Fuck you, iTunes. Like the number one trash talk podcast, the first one that appears. Trash talk. It's in a language I can't speak. Borlan 3 Sewayang Bar whatever.
That could be an insult too. You just read it out insulting everyone.
And they only have one episode, and it just says, ghosting.
What? What the hell? Like, look, this podcast has to have like a bigger audience size than like half these other podcasts that are listed.
We're calling out Trash Talk Podcast's Battle Royale.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we will fight all of you out there who have the Trash Talk.
Except the ones that are about sports.
All right, fine. You guys
they'll probably kick our ass.
Probably, but everybody else who isn't into sports, we will dominate you. We will be the best trash talk podcast, other than the sports ones. But again, our audience size has to be like bigger than like half those
Yeah,
guys.
that's fair. I can't see like their audience size. But like for example, the number 2 spot is in Russian. So like what the fuck
Oh
does
my
it say
gosh,
there?
why? Like what the hell, man?
The bro trash talk podcast. It's essentially if Ryan and I were bros, where if we were in a
Exactly.
fraternity.
Yes, like if we were like we were brothers and in the same college group together, like that would basically be the show at that point.
I don't know. I mean, the other podcast, Trash Talk with a Chaotic Duo, is basically this show.
Basically, because like this, like I said, our show, like I can go off of like my podcast, for example. Like it's interesting. Like, wait, I'm talking about like the reach you can have with a show, because like my
Yeah.
podcast has hit a few different countries here and there, like for people actually watching it here and there for episodes.
How would you watch audio?
Listen to audio. But I mean, like we've talked about like countries here and there. Like this show is bigger than some of these other ones listed, because we've got like Ireland and whatever I forget what the other one was. I am so sorry, other country. I completely forgot what we mentioned like a few episodes back. Completely forgot which one that was.
Philippines, Egypt, Sudan.
We hit Egypt. Wow.
Yeah. So the Chaotic Duo Trash Talk. Their descriptions are a bit better. In this episode, Selena and Jay discuss their favorite movies and television shows. We've done that. They're copying us.
We have 2 episodes up already where we talk about TV shows and movies, and we even cover video games for a different one. We've covered the topic. Yeah, I know. Okay, you know what? We're calling you out, Bros Trash Talk Podcast.
No,
you
this
are not
is this is the Chaotic Duo Podcast.
All right, Chaotic Duo. We are calling you guys out right here, right now. We challenge you guys to a 2-on-2 Fortnite match.
You know what would be interesting?
What's that?
I mean, this podcast is defunct. They haven't posted an episode since March, but this is like this was probably like a quarantine hobby. Like I imagine a lot of these were like we're in quarantine, let's start a show.
Yeah, probably. And then like they just stopped.
Accept us.
The dedication to this show, because we've done this show for years. And even with quarantine, with all the other things, despite the early inconsistencies, we've done this show pretty consistently. Like last season and this season, for example, like this, what we've had, like what? How many episodes of this season have gone? Somewhere like 13, 14 so far?
This
like
would be the
14th, something like that.
14th episode, yeah.
See, in that case, guys, how many podcasts can say they've done that consistently despite everything? Because Emilio and I, it's not like we live next door to each other. Yet we somehow do this podcast together for so long. So what excuse do you have, Chaotic Duo?
Like
you guys probably live next door.
Like the sports trash talk bros. Those guys are probably in the same frat. Me and Ryan aren't even the same fucking country.
No, and yet we managed to do a show for years and have consistent-ish episodes about different things.
Okay, this version of the Trash Talk podcast has a better logo than us, but
oh hell no, our logo is a million times better than that one. Holy crap, there's no way.
But anyways, here's the kicker. They only have one episode, and it's called Trash Talk Podcast. No, hold on. It's called Trash Talk Podcast Trailer.
Wow. Yeah, that logo's doing them real well, isn't it? Oh my gosh.
Okay,
see, we're doing this. We're getting called out by all the other Trash Talk podcasts.
No, they don't even post anymore. Like this other one, Trash Talk with CJ and Rush. Seafish.
Seafish, what have you done? I know a Seafish on YouTube. He's been a good friend of mine since for years.
Well,
what have you done?
Us.
Damn it, Seafish. And I brought you on my podcast.
Christian J. Ilton and Jonathan Rushing talk trash on the latest topic in sports and more. Okay, this is the sports one.
Of course.
Trash Talk, here's another one. Trash Talk. I'm Troy and I'm from the duo The Trash Bag Show. I'm just a guy who wants to do battle with the internet for a podcast and give some trashy opinion. Okay, so this is basically our show.
Yeah, basically, just our show, regardless, is like the best trash talk podcast out there. Like the most consistent, the most creative, the most unique. We cover a bunch of different stuff, and these other guys, half of them don't even post things, and some of them
Like
probably did just make them for like quarantine podcasts.
this guy hasn't posted since the 10th of September 2020.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be posting that anytime soon in that
Trash
regard because it's
talk.
been almost a year.
Oh my god. Okay, this one has like 6 hosts, but one of them is called Rian. So, want a place where you can
Whoa.
hear the latest tea on drama, politics, media, and other juicy topics? Your 6 favorite co-hosts, Ryan, Grace, Tate, Spencer, Kaylin, and Taylor, are here to serve you all the details hot and ready. This is
Oh
Trash Talk.
man.
You fucking betrayed us, bro.
Amelia, I didn't want you to find out this way. Yes, I've been part of 3 podcasts. The one we made, this show, and unfortunately this other show here that Amelia just discovered. I'm so sorry, buddy. I meant to tell you, but I guess
Well,
now that you know,
here's the
yeah,
thing,
that
guys. We joke a lot about Trash Talk Towers, but the reality is that all of these shows called Trash Talk are shot in the Trash Talk Towers. So what happened was that Ryan got the wrong studio, so he went through
yeah.
the wrong door. Uh, he apparently filmed with 11 episodes. Um,
Yep, I remember every single one of these people. I can name them by name.
they also haven't posted since the 29th of October 2020.
Yep.
You guys' podcast is doing great.
All 5 Jeffs that I worked with. I'm so sorry, guys, that we disbanded the way we did. It's actually the space that me and Emilio have been using was actually the old podcasting space that I used with those other guys. I actually stole the key off of one of them, kicked them out. They're all in like a landfill or something probably. I don't know. But Emilio and I stole the studio, and we've been using that ever since. So
Okay, Trash Talk NBA. Okay, this is one's from Brazil apparently because it's all in Portuguese. But they haven't posted since the 23rd of October 2019.
again, who's been posting consistently? Us.
I
Well, you
think you
guys haven't.
when you're president, you have to disband this Brazilian trash talker.
Yeah, I'm gonna ban all the other trash talk podcasts out there. Like every single one of them is gonna be banned. This show will be the only one left standing for trash talk. No one else will last.
I'm trying to find one that isn't sports. Here's one, the German version of trash talk. Hallo, wir sind Jan und Nick und wir reden über Trash und Nick ist übrigens in meinem Keller eingesperrt.
I didn't understand any of that.
It says,
Epic.
hi, friends Ryan and Emilio think they're really funny.
Someone steals our podcast, but then they just translate it to a language that no one would ever understand. So like, hey, we can get away with it.
They make
We're too
YouTube
lazy.
videos. This German trash talk.
Oh, lovely. We make YouTube videos too. No one watches them, but the videos go up.
Trash talk.
Um,
Hello, girls and boys. Here's another German trash talk. But they only have the only episode is a trailer. It's 28 seconds long.
Yep, that's very enticing to watch a podcast for. Let me tell you.
How
Did
many
this
episodes?
show ever? I just realized something. We never did a trailer, did we?
No, we probably should actually.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we never. Oh my gosh, we never did a trailer. Of all the episodes that are listed, not one of them's an actual trailer introducing the show.
We have 40 episodes. Our last episode was our 40th episode.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. So this one would be like the 41st episode then, if it goes up after that. How many? I'd curious. How many?
We really need to get laid, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Like 40 episodes in, not one of us have gotten laid yet. Damn it! How big's the audience size? Is it bigger than 40? Probably not.
So creator Emilio Jimenez, which is me. Why isn't Ryan?
Oh yeah. Flicks on that.
Years
yes, Emilio may be
active.
a coward.
Years active. It only has 2020, 21, but it doesn't account for the years we were just on YouTube. But okay.
What the? Yeah, okay. I mean, there wouldn't be many stats for that one anyway. So
episodes 40, rating explicit. Copyright Emilio Jimenez. Okay, so I guess after we finish this podcast, we should record a trailer.
Yeah, we probably should. I mean, to the 10 of you who consistently watch this show, I have no idea what, but it's not,
Maybe people keep confusing us with these trash talk NBA shows.
I
They're like,
really hope
oh,
not.
and like when they hear us talking about Space Jam, they're like, oh, finally, I got the right trash
I
talk.
mean, yeah, finally. Well, we do know one thing's for sure, ladies and gentlemen. There are a lot of you out there who still watch this show for some reason, in other countries. So
Listen to the show.
no, I'm sorry. The inner desire to want to have the YouTube videos be bigger than the audio is still up there because no one watches these videos on YouTube.
That,
There's a lot of you who listen to this show, and we very much appreciate you. We are sorry for denying you a trailer for all this time because holy crap, I can't believe we've never actually done that.
yeah.
Just now realizing it from seeing all these other lesser. But keep in mind though, these other podcasts might have trailers, but they don't have actual content on most of them.
Yeah.
Just the trailer.
You could probably binge half of them in like a weekend. So.
Probably so, yeah. I mean, you just binge 30-second trailers in like a weekend. That's my idea of epic podcasting.
So, is there anything you would like to add?
At the end here, guys, with everything we've talked about, which this episode, like we originally we were going to talk about like vaccinations and stuff like that for
Oh
this,
yeah,
but we forgot. We jumped all over the map. We went from Space Jam to the Olympics to
the Thanos.
To Thanos to comparing our show to other trash talk podcasts. Like there's been a lot of topics, but if there's one thing you could take away from this entire episode is that the masturbation team will win this year from Trash Talk. So that is one thing. Just remember that much. We will win this year.
Let's go, Ryansville. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, Ryansville. Let's go.
Boom. We are going to win this year, guys.
Yeah, we're totally winning the Olympics as a whole.
Yep. I'm actually competing in the javelin event. They wouldn't let me back in last year either because I accidentally stabbed a guy with one of them. I thought it was sushi, but hey, I don't know. I confused that.
Yeah, and I was going to be on the swim team, but I accidentally pissed on the pool. But I thought it would look cooler when we were swimming in the purple water.
Because as grown-ups too showed us, they have special filters in pools that when you pee in them, the water changes a different color, like a jet stream.
Grown-ups too, yeah.
Yeah, they actually showed that in grown-ups too. That was a bit. It wasn't good, but it was a bit.
Send us a voice memo if you want us to do a frame-by-frame analysis.
Yep, and you know what? If you send us that memo, you might be featured in a future episode. So send that in.
As for me, you can check me out and all my links down in the description. You can check out Ryan. Same thing. Links down in the description. He has a podcast.
The Bosscast podcast.
Creatively called after Ryan's father, who's called Bosscast, actually.
Yes, actually, surprisingly enough. I thought that was my mom's name, though, man.
Oh, sorry, bro.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Yeah, I'll cut it out. We can do it again.
All right, good.
Hopefully by then, I have to film 2 reactions of the Milwaukee Bucks lose the NBA Finals. Sadly, guys, the Bucks lost the finals, but it's okay. There's always next year.
True, there was always next year, and Emilio one day will come out with that Now You See Me review. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm going to hold him to that till the end of time until he actually does it. So
and hopefully, and now I have to film my reaction if the Bucks win. Holy crap, guys! I can't believe the Bucks win, defeating the odds. That was an amazing season. Even though I joined in as a casual, I can't believe Ryan scored the winning point. I was very much confused.
I can't believe they let me back on the court. And it was great, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching it. It was great.
He used all his moves he learned after watching the Space Jam movie. Wait,
all my
continuity error. If this is supposed to be after the final, you would have already watched Space Jam 2. So,
oh my god, yes. This episode's going to come out after I watch Space Jam 2. Damn it. Updated thoughts, guys. I actually really hated the movie. It completely sucked. Look, I didn't even watch the right movie. I saw Black Widow, actually. I was wondering why there wasn't any Lola Bunny like references made. So, I was very disappointed.
Yeah. Where was the fox from Zootopia?
Where was Mr. Wild when you need him?
Anyways, have you watched Black Widow? Maybe we can talk about this for another half an hour.
I intend to see it here at some point, actually. So I want to see Black Widow. So I do intend on seeing it, but I haven't seen it yet as of this podcast.
You should watch it instead of Space Jam, honestly.
Honestly, I part of me wants to, but at the same time, I'm like, I want to see Space Jam just to see how the movie plays out. I want to see both of them, like Black Widow because it's a Marvel film and I've been looking forward
Stop
to it. And
taking
Space
lotion
Jam,
while you're still on the air. Don't have to
I want.
masturbate whilst record the
I
podcast.
gotta, dude. We gotta get practicing in. We have to. How else are we gonna win if we don't train?
That's a good point. The Olympics start this Friday, so
Yeah, that's true.
we really gotta practice.
Yes, we do. So,
Anyways,
yeah,
bye. We're off to film
yeah,
the trailer.
yeah, bye everybody.